Hello, everyone. This is Monsef Afkar, and thank you so much for joining us in this new call of Your Divine Uniqueness. So very, very happy to have you with us today. Thank you for your presence, and also very, very excited, very happy that Kasey and Brad Wallis, they are back on the show. The last time, I think they joined us, it's been 3 years now, and they've been regular guests on our show. And really what I love about their message, it's how to say, it's very practical, and also it makes, because as you know, the spiritual awakening, and like every time there is new energies, new understanding, new growth, and at some points it may be difficult to understand it or to grasp that experience. And what I love about their message, it's that they make that easier to understand and easier to embody and integrate in our life, because also like embodying that, it's the most important thing about this awakening. And so I'm very happy that they are here today with us. And for those of you who are new to them, they are conduits for an advanced intelligence named Julius, who offers messages of empowerment for an enlightened humanity. And today's call will be about healing and raising our energy and preparing for the new wave of consciousness. And also we'll have a Q&A as always. If you are on Zoom, you can raise your hand by pressing on reactions and then raise hand. Or you can type your question on the chat boxes on Zoom and YouTube as well. And so with that, Kasey and Brad, welcome back to the show. Very happy to have you with us.
All right.
Yeah, we're very geared up for our show today. Thank you so much. So much. Julius has been driving me crazy all morning, been on the phone with actually some of your other speakers that are on here. We've got energy going for this show, for your summit and for your audience. Thank you so much for inviting us, and thank you to everybody who's tuning in and feeling like perhaps this will be resonating for you.
Wonderful. And so in the beginning, I would love if you can maybe tell us what's new about your work for those of our audience who are new to that.
Yeah. So what is new?
What is new?
Well, we certainly have changed a lot of things since you last seen us 3 years ago.
A couple years ago. Yeah.
We have a new television studio that we're in, and we have our own network. I don't know if we had that network running back when it was just beginning, but we have our own network, expansion network, and we built our own retreat facility here in southern Utah. Mm-hmm. And we do every 90 days, we do a new retreat, and we have just gone crazy with our own teachings, and all your listeners got to do is go to our website, expandwithjulius.com, and you'll get unbelievable amounts of information off that website. It's just loaded. It's loaded and loaded and loaded. There's page after page after page, because we do something new every couple of weeks. I mean, there's a new program that we have coming out every couple of weeks. Yeah. Theoretically.
Yeah, we've been very blessed to have those opportunities, and thanks to people like you, Monsef, and the connections that we've been able to have over the years that we've been in this business. Things grow and expand and grow and expand, and it's always such a pleasure and an honor to again be with you and other practitioners and facilitators. We've really dedicated our lives, willingly or unwillingly, we have dedicated our lives to helping to transform humanity out of all of the limitations that they have had for so very long. And it's quite the journey, Either you go ahead and submit to it, right, and ride the wave of it, or you're fighting the current of it. As your listeners know, once you start to get pinged for your awakenedness, for your awareness. And it's uncomfortable and it's not popular, and people judge you. You may be having challenges in your own life against the people in your lives judging you. And you may kind of try to tune it off. It's like, no, I still have this other life that I have to live. And man, it comes screaming at you. And finally, you just figure out, like any surfer does, you finally just turn and go with the current, and, wonderful things happen. So that's basically our lives on a day-to-day basis. And it's an extreme joy to be in this space.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much, Kasey and Brad. And so the subject today is the new wave of consciousness and preparing for it. And we feel that we see it. We've been seeing like lots of big changes and still happening. And so how do you see these shifts? Because at some points, maybe some of us may feel maybe tired because it feels like there is continuous change.
Yeah.
And it's like we are looking for some time to rest. But how do you see this happening?
Yeah. So,
Gentle.
okay. Masters, when we speak of shift and change, we do not speak in the same frequency and timelines that humanity does. Any form of ascended masters, ourselves included, see things in concurrentness, concurrent timelines, or in fields of possibilities, You, as three-dimensional beings, having your experience right now in this timeline in a third-dimensional body, which we have had before, you see things very relevant in your day-to-day lives, in your timelines playing itself out in front of you. And in the third dimension, things not only seem very slow, but they seem very chaotic, and they seem at times painful, and at times hopeless, and at times joyous. And so the change and shift of energy frequencies, as you have said, Monsef, is always occurring. It is always occurring. But in humanity's experience, this has mostly gone unnoticed. It's basically been hidden from you. It's been covered up. Those that control you have done a great job of keeping humanity unaware of the energy frequencies that are out there, that are not just accessible to you, masters, but that you are. You must understand that these are not frequencies outside of you, masters. These are frequencies emanating from within you.
Yeah, you wouldn't be feeling it, and you wouldn't be recognizing it if it didn't actually come from within you.
Yeah.
And that's something that everybody certainly needs to be aware of, that all this manipulation and everything that's going on, it is originating from you.
Yeah, that's great news, because that puts you in a position of empowerment. That puts you in a position of choosing. That puts you in the position of truly being able to apply this energy that you choose to access and grow for yourself. What has been, what we perceive to be misinformation or limited information, masters, is that there's an energy outside of you that is either going to fix everything for you, rescue you, save you. And unfortunately, humanity sits back and waits. They sit back and wait, and they wait and they wait and they wait, from generation to generation, from millennia to millennia. Back when the origins of this false information started, humanity has become quite lazy and quite victimized in everything that occurs for them. And this is like a boiling pot. Okay, this is like a boiling pot. Seems like it takes for a long time for things to come to a head, but eventually they do. And if allowed, they actually explode and come out of the pot. And that's basically what we are seeing, and what we have been seeing for about the last 10 or 15 years, as even small percentages of humanity are starting to wake up to even possibly grasping the concept that they are God rather than just receiving power from an exterior God, that is a massive change of consciousness. So we want to explain something to you. There are frequencies, there are measurable frequencies that we call conscious levels of consciousness. And when you are held down to a belief system that you are not God and that you have to serve God and that you have to please God and that there's this energy outside of you, that's a really minimal energy frequency. When you cross over a level of consciousness into accepting this truth, your frequency becomes what we call exponential. It multiplies. It doesn't just add to itself, it multiplies. And because we've been able to see a percentage of humanity hit a higher level of consciousness, this is what is the wave, quote unquote wave, that has been made accessible to all of you. So this is awesome. The question is, are you going to join this wave by accelerating your own consciousness so that you are becoming exponential also, making this wave exponential so we can overtake this limited energy here? Or are you going to continue to sit back and just wait for everybody else to do it or see if it just happens? That has been the misfire. And we appreciate that humanity, a good portion of humanity, is aware that, yeah, this shift is occurring, but oh, well, okay, I'll just sit back and watch it unfold. And all they've been seeing is chaos unfold. And we say now is the time for you to decide whether you're truly going to engage. So our messages, Master, is about you becoming an empowered being, not sitting back and watching everybody else become empowered and maybe want to sit on the sidelines and reap some of the benefits from that occurrence, but instead really standing up in your power. Humanity doesn't understand how powerful source energy is. Whether, even though our dialogue may not fit quite into your field where you're like, no, I don't accept that I am God. I accept that I'm a child of God, or I accept that I'm a byproduct of God. We're like, okay,
Great.
That's fine.
That's great.
Let's keep building that momentum, because as you allow further truths to come in, so shall you envelop these truths and exponentially expand these truths in an energy. We are in the midst of this extraordinary possibility occurring, of this timeline lining itself up, which was something we already see is there. And it's in a little bit of a snare right now. It's in a little bit of a snag. We thought it was going to take place a couple of years ago in your timeline, and it didn't quite do it. Everybody got kind of buried in fear and separation and paranoia. They further poisoned themselves. But here we are again, once again, because opportunity is always there to really become a part of this. We know that every single one of you watching this program came to this Earthship in this timeline to be part of this. You literally collectively made a decision because of the joy and extraordinary knowing that you are source and what it can do for you, because all of you are one. We are all one. And how to transform an extremely limited realm into a plane of existence that is a high frequency. So if we may explain that really quickly. So masters, many people speak about all these different dimensional spaces and that they're filled with different levels of consciousness. We don't agree with that. We say that every dimensional space has the potential for any level of consciousness that it chooses. That's you being God. That's you being the creator of everything. And there is a dimension, there is a realm, and there is a plane of existence. Realms and plane of existences are opportunities for physical to demonstrate themselves within a dimension. A realm is a dimension that has become governed or controlled. So currently, you are working on a third dimensional realm that is a physical existence that is governed or controlled by an energy force. that can shift into a plane of existence where consciousness can play itself out more in a unified aspect. And while still being three-dimensional beings, you can experience extraordinarily high levels of consciousness playing itself out in the third dimension and fully shift into bliss extraordinary. So we're in this space where realm and plane of existence are teetering in a possibility. And the question is, are we all going to get on the side of plane of existence? Are we all going to stay on the side of realm? And that's what we're here to talk to you guys about today.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really powerful. I love your message. And when you were talking about that, I thought about that when we shift into that state of being, there is some responsibility that comes with it. And at some point, sometimes it can be scary in the beginning because we are used to, how to say, we have limiting beliefs that others know better than us, or maybe we have some self-worth issues, or we are afraid that we can't make it. And also sometimes, like even the way we approach spirituality and healing, sometimes we may feel that it's something that happens from outside. We are not part of it. So how can we have this maybe confidence to take that responsibility that we are the creator of our own experience?
Thank you for that question. Yeah, you have to break the program of judgment, Master. Judgment, comparison, and competition. We have to break that program that runs subconsciously in humans' brains, because that's your perception back of not only upon your own self, but outwardly upon everybody else. It's the program that keeps you small, afraid, not confident, not brave, not worthy. It's the unworthiness program that runs. And so then you don't step up, you stay small. And again, Master, you then are worried that, maybe there's all of this innate wisdom that comes through, let's say maybe us, is some kind of a special gift or an elusive gift or specially chosen, which is just not true. It is a limited truth. Masters, everyone is source. Everyone. We are not more source than you are. We can't be. You aren't more or less source than we are. It doesn't run that way. There is truth. There is expansive truth, and there is limited truth. Whatever you hold as truth will be true for you, and you will demonstrate that truth. So we will never support that anything is a lie. There are truths. Everything is truth, because whatever you hold true will demonstrate itself. We've got to simply assist you to move into a more expansive truth of yourself. That's how it works. You have to let go of what we said, judgment, comparison, and competition. We're going to help you do that. Now, something extraordinary happens when you step in this space. We call it moving into bravery, as you said, accessing your bravery. You kind of go, okay, here I am, right? And this super cool thing comes through. Things start to kind of stick to you. Theories kind of start to stick to you. Maybe even theories that you resisted before or you couldn't accept before.
Yeah, you start seeing them from
little things start to come in and you're like, oh, right. Oh, right. And then we say, don't stop there. Start sharing that. Start sharing it. And it grows and it grows and it grows. And pretty soon, you are able to accept concepts that you absolutely didn't resonate with before. You are able to expand them, create them, contribute to them, and all the while being surrounded with an enthusiastic energy of beings and physical people saying, yeah, come on out, show us your mojo, show us your magic. Instead of everybody saying, you're wrong, I'm right, you're wrong, I'm right. We're getting rid of that energy. So what has happened is, thankfully, There is more permission out there. There is more acceptance. We're not sure, humanity isn't quite sure accepting of what, but they know that there is a more opened arm application to you being source. Long gone are the days of the rulerships of practitioners and seers and intuits. And if somebody is out there still claiming that they are the all answer, they don't belong in this space. We have always encouraged everybody that you are source. Let us simply help uncover your doubt. Let us uncover your doubt. That's all this is, okay? We aren't going to change you. We are going to unleash you, and you get to change and create yourself into everything that there is. But even for yourself, Monsef, you have changed through the years that you have done this summit. Initially, you were very curious and you knew all these practitioners were out there and you were like, okay, I want to be like this little ringleader of a platform to help all these people come out. And all of a sudden, your gifts were getting stronger and deeper. You were in this energy. Everybody was like, come on, Monsef, pull this out, pull this out, pull this out. You're now doing your teachings. You're having your own retreats. You're having your, and we're like, here you are. You're demonstrating exactly what you are promoting to your audience. Okay. Which makes you authentic. And everyone here and everyone that will come to this dialogue is exactly the same thing. This is what's so fun about being in this energy, is it's so authentic. It's so authentic because we do not hold ourselves any higher than any of you. All we can tell you is we can remember that we're source. And that's not even a difference. You guys are all on your way to remembering that. We can help accelerate that remembrance if you want. But the truth is we are all the same and we are source.
Yeah, absolutely. And this brings another point is that, like you said, in the beginning, when we want to share our light, our message, or something that we create, in the beginning, we start to compare ourselves to others and we want to be like this one or the other one. And that was the same for me. But at some point, we realized that it's not about that. It's not about comparison and being better or less. It's just being ourselves, sharing our lights. And this is of itself, it's very needed, and it can create some deep, impacts in ways that we don't expect. So it's more about showing up as the way we are.
We have to give humanity, we got to cut everybody a little bit of slack because you have been controlled. Your brains have been controlled. You have been manipulated. If you don't think you've been programmed, it's because you're programmed. Okay. That is truth. It is an unfortunate truth, but a truth nonetheless. And so what we will go as far as saying is your ignorance has been programmed into you. It literally, the amounts of your brain activity have been controlled so that you won't come to the knowing of everything. So you won't come to knowing that you're source.
Yeah, you won't even start asking questions.
No, you'll stay in the programs of separateness. You'll stay in the programs of suffering. You'll stay in the programs of religious doctrine. You'll stay in the limited aspects of economics, politics, education, quote unquote medicine. You've got all these programs that run in your brain and you aren't even realizing it, except now you are starting to realize it. Welcome to the awakening. What are you awakening to? Oh, you're awakening to the fact that you've been programmed to sleep. Okay. Now, what do we do with that? Okay. Well, the altered ego is part of this program. They actually activated what we call an altered ego that consumes you in doubt, consumes you in judgment, consumes you in fear. And so it seems like every time you take one step forward into empowerment, there's this programmed subconscious thought that gobbles you back up into smallness. and you can't seem to get out. That's the matrix that everybody is talking about. And that's another conversation, but that's the energy matrix that people talk about. You can break your own matrix, masters, by continuing to move forward beyond this doubt. But how do you do it? Because this force is so powerful and so consumable over you, and you're so used to it, and it's so familiar. And we are aware of this. We are aware of it not only for our own process as we became ascended masters, but we see it and feel it for all of you. And so we have to help love you out of your own doubt, out of your own judgment. We may kick you in the butt a little bit about with it too. Sometimes people think we're a little forcing on that, and we don't view ourselves that way. We see ourselves as the higher confident version of you that's going to help pull you out of this hole. Masters, there is infinite thought. And anything that you can think of is, because your brain does not create thought, it accesses thought. When humanity stops judging each other's thoughts, each other's potential, and each other's theories, this unleashment will be uncontainable, which is why they're fighting so hard to still contain you with this matrix. Spiritual arrogance is something that occurs when somebody starts into a conscious journey, and that altered ego takes another approach of derailing you, because arrogant energy is a fear-based energy. And so at every turn, you have this altered ego that plots and plans against you to keep you in this matrix. And we have found that it's the energy that goes against the wave, and all you have to do is catch the top of the wave over it, and you will overcome literally your altered ego. And we're going to help you do that. And then each one of you gets to demonstrate source differently. We don't want all of you to be us. We don't want any of you to be us. We enjoy being us. What we really enjoy is you being you in your authentic essence, in your true state of empowerment, and then seeing the expansiveness that is never ending from that. And when everybody here and globally can embrace that possibility is when this realm will shift into a plane of existence. And it won't be a tough shift. It will just be a natural byproduct of that higher level of frequency. So it's nothing really hard. But it's very exciting times. It is the most extraordinary time, masters.
Depends what side of the fence you're on.
We have done this so many times in different lives and different timelines to try to overcome this powerful force. This is another opportunity. And masters, what is most extraordinary is we've never had the collective resources to reach the possibility of people to find the love for themselves to join this. We aren't asking anybody to follow us. That is a limited truth. It is an arrogant position. We are asking people to join us, not follow us. There is a difference. And we want you all to start seeing yourselves as the potential of what you may even believe what source is.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. That was again really powerful, and yeah, also related to the same subjects, like the new wave of consciousness. And something that we learned is that when a change happen or a big change happen, there is a reaction. Right away we try to take some action, and many times this one comes just from fear or trying to survive. So what is your advice during those first moments when we feel the shift? Great
question. We want to talk to you, Master, about the difference between reacting and creating. Reacting and creating. They are opposite energies. React is from the altered ego mind. And believe it or not, it is a fight to support low energy frequency. It is a fear-based response, reaction. It is commonly done without thinking about it, without contemplating it, without planning it, and it's often done without joy. It is mostly done out of fear. That's why it's called you react. In other words, you are reacting the fear-based energy that you're interpreting. So in other words, you end up contributing to the only viewpoint of fear of some form of change. When you create, this is your soul's engagement. It's taking an inch and growing it into a mile. It's taking the subtle suggestion of a possibility and riding the joy and enthusiasm of the potential of it. It picks up the energy of the moment of the now, not adhering to any way that this has demonstrated itself in previous, but just grabbing the wisdom of how it has demonstrated itself and growing it from there. You are authentically creative beings, not reactive beings. Reactiveness is a false artificial program that you have accepted that is the altered ego mind, and it will cause no progress. It is two waves fighting against the potential of an idea. So if they can get you to react against change, they've killed change. Does that make sense? So
Yes, it does.
we get you to grab the potential of change and literally run with it. This is where your creative forces come into play. And this is the allowability of all creative forces that are of high frequency, which is non-judgment, love, compassion, unity, to join, become exponential, and it's done. It's done.
This is a simple way for you to recognize how powerful you are. Do you react to what's going on around you, or are you creating from what's going on around you? Most people have gotten guilty of reacting.
Yeah.
And that's how the powers that are outside of us that want to control all of us, they want everyone reacting. They don't want anybody to create. They want to keep us small.
It is a difference in vantage. The master, we call you masters because you are the masters of your perception. You are the masters of your reality. What creates your reality is your perception, the way you see things. Now, if you take the word react and you write it out, and you take the word create, they are the exact same word, only the C is positioned differently in the words. So in other words, the difference between reacting and creating is seeing things differently.
Beautiful. Yeah, that was really inspiring. And one more question before taking our audience questions is about, as we are stepping into our sovereignty, because what I felt like in the past and sometimes even now, when we connect to other beings or we receive messages from others who channel them, we see them always as higher than us. Because also we use like words, higher dimensions, higher energies. But as we awaken to our sovereignty, we realize that we are also like our higher self, our souls are from the same level. So how can we connect with them like in a way that it becomes more like a collaboration than just it's someone higher than us?
By knowing one simple truth, that they are you. That's how you do it. There is no separateness. We realize that humanity bounces back and forth between unity and separateness, unity and separateness. They'll speak about unity over here, then they'll go to separateness in their perception over here. It's a ricochet ping pong game. And this is normal. As you grow, you're going to adhere to previous beliefs and you're going to be trying to grasp new beliefs. We are going to support a couple of things here, and you will get to decide whether these truths resonate with you. We are going to support that there is no guarantee of a state of consciousness in any dimension. All dimensions have the potential of being low consciousness or high consciousness. We will give you an example of that. A ghost or an apparition is a fifth dimensional being living and existing in extreme fear that has them caught in a looping cycle of trauma in the third dimension. So that fifth dimensional being is not of high consciousness, it is of low consciousness. There are third dimensional beings that are nothing but murderers, sodomizers, devourer of children. And there are third dimensional beings that hit, Christ or super level of consciousness. There's a range in every dimension. So try to get away from automatically categorizing somebody, as you said, Monsef, as higher or greater than you. That is not a truth. If you are connecting in frequency, there's a frequency match. That is a truth. So if you want to give yourself credit for even matching with this thing that you think is higher.
And if you're able to communicate with them, which theoretically you really are because you're matching in energy, then you really need to start asking them questions as to where they exist, where do they come from. And you might be surprised to find out that most of the beings that are giving information out about the human experience is they've never been human.
Right. They're doing the armchair coaching.
So how in the world can they give you advice on being human when they've never had the human experience? Just because they're an angel or because they're a so-called angelic being does not mean that they are any, quote, higher in existence than you are. The fact that you are here on this plane of existence means that you're actually higher in your existence than they are because they haven't been brave enough to come and have the experience of being human.
Now,
so you need to take that into effect.
Yeah. And coming back to what we said at the beginning of this question is, Masters, if you can constantly try to feed yourself the information that everything is source. Source is fractalized, not fragmented. It is fractalized, not fragmented. You can look the difference up on the internet. So every being that you encounter is a fractal of you, a fractal. That just simply means another version, another possibility, different frequency aspects of that which is you. So that should make them more relatable to you, hopefully more compassionate from your heart, non-judgmental, and it equalizes the playing field. It equalizes. Just because a version of you can remember some things and another version of you cannot remember some things does not mean that that information is not within. It is just a question of what you choose to open up and access. We have always said, Master, that the two fears that bind humanity has two primary fears that bind them, and they're fears that have been programmed into you. One is the fear of death, and the other is the fear of how powerful you are. And if we can assist you to let go of even one of those limited truths, you're going to raise 50% in your life. If we can work to just help you release those fears, that's all we need to do. You're on your way after that. Sometimes when you're having conversations, as you said, Monsef, with other practitioners or other beings, they seem to not have those two fears. So it's like, what is it? What is it that they seem to know that I don't know? What is it that is this cool thing about their energy? And we're like, oh, they've let go of their two binding fears that humanity has. But you can let go of those fears in any given moment and whoosh, your energy is going to become unleashed and you'll feel more in parity. You'll feel parity with these beings, not superiority or inferiority. That's a program. When you see parity with others, that's when it can become exponential and grow. So does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Absolutely. And it's very empowering. Thank you for that. Yeah, so also, okay, can we take questions from the audience?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so again, everyone, if you are on Zoom, you can raise your hand by pressing reactions, then raise hand. If you are on the phone, you can click on *9, or you can type your questions on the chat boxes on Zoom and YouTube. So we have Maria, can you please unmute yourself? Maria?
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much, Monsef. And it's such a pleasure. First, I have to say, Kasey, Julius, Brad, I'm never the same after listening to you. So my favorite thing, if I could just tell the whole of humanity, is that this couple and Julius, of course, absolutely, I feel in my heart that you are assisting us to become that which we're asking for.
That's
So
what we're doing.
thank you. No, and like I totally feel it. I really feel it. I've never felt closer. So with my question is, what else do I need? I totally breathe and listen to you almost 24/7. So I meditate, and these meditations are really instrumental. Like I just go in there, but I would like to open the door to the sixth seal of consciousness, sixth level consciousness, Christ consciousness, whatever you would like to call it, and walk through. So what would it take?
So, Master, the first thing that we want to enforce with you is you actually are already there. Isn't that magnificent? Isn't that magnificent?
You've just forgotten.
The key is it's always growing. So the human brain is always working on something being done or finished or perfected. And that is an impossibility when you hit high levels of consciousness, Master, because you're constantly expanding. You're never going to be done. Your brain tells you to look for finished results or accomplished results. Your soul knows that this potential is never ending and finds the joy in the endless discovery and demonstration of it. So we've got to just simply get you to let go of the way your brain used to perceive you and your life, and measured success for you and measured accomplishment for you, into this open concept of possibility. The fact that you can even dialogue with us the way that you do, and it not just being a dialogue that you've read somewhere else, but it comes from your soul. We find that you are challenged with words. We find that you are challenged with the ability to express, but we can feel your vibration. We can feel your soul. We can feel your emotions, and we know exactly what you're saying. And we're telling you, Master, you're already there. That's wonderful news. Now we just need to assist you to make that all-encompassing truth. And all that is, Master, is its practice, it's patience, it's compassion, and it's practice. And we're going to constantly support you with that. You support that with us. Since we have been able to engage with you again in this timeline, we are refueled with your enthusiasm, your love, your creativity, your potential, your healing. And we are simply doing our best to give that back to you because we appreciate you so much. We want to feed that back to you. So you're already there. That's great news. Let's just flood you. We're going to flood your reality and your life with it. And the more that you just stay open, Master, the more you're magnificently expanding us. So just keep going. Is what we want to tell you. We know you're enthusiastic, and we know everybody's out there. It's like, oh, let's just get there. Let's just get there. You have this wonderful, insatiable appetite, but find your easement into the process, Master.
Can I add something real quick?
Yes.
Maria, there's a reason why we as human beings we've all agreed to come here and do the human experience. And that is partly due to the fact that we want to feel and experience what's going on. And as an energetic being, you don't get the opportunity to feel that from a human, from a body. And too many people, too many humans are thinking that they need to be beyond that they need to not experience that. And it's the opposite. You need to experience everything that there possibly is as a human before you can ever possibly experience everything that there is as an energy being.
Yeah, you did choose the physical experience to master the physical experience, and you're doing that. We find it interesting that you may still be a little critical on your own self as far as your progression goes. We see masterful progression, masterful progression. So come on our side of the fence and see yourself through our eyes. Then we think you will stop being in a rush or a hurried state and fall into this accepting state and this expansive state. You cannot expand through hurriedness. You expand through knowing and actualizing, savoring in the space that you are in. Does that help answer your question?
Absolutely. I take you up on that invitation and challenge definitely myself to everything. I already challenged myself to annihilate judgment from the universe. So bring it on. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot more fun now. So thank you very much for the reminder. And I would like to definitely say also that the sound therapy, the sound healing that you do with the all of your instruments and the light language with the Koroksians, thank you so much, because as I do my best to express myself, it's that light language that goes beyond what my brain processes. And so it's highly been instrumental in my life. Thank you.
Thank you. Sending so much love your way.
Absolutely received and exponentialized onto you.
Thank you, Maria. Much love. And also thank you so much, Kasey and Brad. And yeah, in some way you described like transcending time. It becomes more like a tool. So we don't depend on it when the shift happen or the growth happen. It's like we take it out of the equation somehow.
You know what's interesting? You mentioned that, you know, the child. If we look back, if you can look back onto your life, into your childhood, you know, children aren't generally hurried through their day. Like they don't wake up in the morning and have a checklist of accomplishment and then beat themselves up at the end of the day. They live moment to moment to moment. They're just finding the joy. They find the joy in a spoon. They find the joy in, you know, the tree that just went by in the car. Yeah, they, you know, they're in the moment. That's where the expansion is. It's not seeing what there still is left to do. Children don't view their life by worrying what there is left to do. That comes through programming. That's what knocks you off kilter. That's what gets your soul out of alignment. That's what gets the altered ego fully engaged. You have the ability and the capacity, masters, to get back to the moments of the centerness, the living in the now, the 0.0 aspect, the void, where all of the rocket fuel of high consciousness is through the experience of joy. And then you do that from each moment of joy, which you would perceive to be time rolling itself out. It is that goal. It's not a going back. We don't want to call that going back. We want to call that reinventing, re-engaging. And just that concept practiced daily will open up the corridors for a higher level of conscious and awareness to come through for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. And let's see. We have a question from Vivian. I have a question for this enlightened couple, please. I would like to know and hear what suggestions Julius will offer for helping evolved children on planet Earth to secure the best loving structures of civilization. In other words, tools to facilitate parents and other caretakers from bottom to top. Thank you.
So, Master, we're going to be as bold as to tell you our opinion here because you have asked. So we believe that your whole education system needs to be destroyed. We believe that education should be completely dismantled, cast away, burned, and never looked upon again. It is programming from previous. It is programming from previous. That's all it is. It's memorization, it's copying, and it's deflating, depleting, degenerating to the human mind and to the soul. That is the truth. We don't care whether you agree with us or not. That is the truth. In Origins, children were taught through apprenticeships. They were encouraged to find anything that they loved. For you naturally have things that you love, things that you're drawn to, things that you're aligned with. The problem is that humanity carved that down into only a very limited selection of options. And children were told that unless they picked one of the options, they were non-productive, that they weren't worthy and that they weren't valuable. And so they had to cast aside their joys and their creativity and fall into the agenda and the requirements of those that continue.
Conforming.
Children need to be allowed and encouraged to find what brings them joy, period. And it's there, and it's not tough to find. All you have to do is get children engaged in things, get them in different environments, get them around different people, and you're going to see that they connect with certain things and let that grow from there. So, masters, intelligence should never come artificially. It should come naturally. We do not believe in artificial intelligence to teach a child. We believe in exposing natural intelligence from within a child. There should not be schools. There should be opportunities for expansiveness, enlightenment, and extraordinary. And these children should never be locked into any one system. There should be a shifting, a growing, a rotation. And these children should feel comfortable and safe in their environment. Safe in their environment. They should be honored, and they should be looked at as sovereign beings, not as children that should be seen and not heard and used and abused. There is a lot to shift and change, but Master, here's the great news. You can shift it in a moment. You can shift it in a moment. It begins by seeing your own self that way. You do not teach through theory. You teach through demonstration. You allow through demonstration. So as each of you come back to the knowing and expression of this extraordinary essence that you are, just show the children that, and it will resolve itself.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much. Also thank you, Vivian, for your question. And we will continue with the question in a little bit. We have Destiny raising her hand and also Linda for a question. And before that, I would love if you can tell us about the program which is preparing for the new wave of consciousness. And I invite everyone to visit the link yourdivineuniqueness.com/Julius, yourdivineuniqueness.com /Julius, JULIUS. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live event page and later on the replay page. And the link also will be on the chat boxes on Zoom and YouTube and on the description on YouTube as well. So I would love if you can tell us more about this program.
Well, first I want to
tell you more.
Wait. So when you engage with Julius, so I'm Kasey, I'm back. So I just kind of disengaged myself from Julius. Julius does courses and classes. They do them with students and they pick a subject matter that is going to hit on any different types of angles of how to raise your consciousness and how to work things out in your life. So for 15 years, they have offered at least twice a month different classes on all these different subject matters of how to grow your consciousness. So when you get a package from us, it is a collection of teachings, okay? And they are directed towards, kind of a subject matter. So in this case, this package is put together to help you grow your consciousness to line up with this wave of shift and change. And so what our production team has done is handpick several modules of Julius's teachings that line up with the subject matter. So when you buy this package, you're going to get these different modules on this subject matter that support you growing your consciousness and getting into wave. That's what you're going to get in the package. In this package, there actually is a filmed event that we did, which we haven't put in a package before, Monsef. This is the first time we've done that. We also do live presentations, live retreats, and live events, and they're filmed for our network. And one of those events is in here. It's the one with the crystalline energy. It's the unleashing the crystalline energy in your body, as well as some bonus products. So that's how our packages work. That's what you're going to get to listen to. So now that you've listened to me channeling Julius so far, you'll see what that sounds like. You'll see. So when you're listening to these modules, you'll be familiar with the way that Julius works. Just to let everybody know that the price of the package is generally the price of only one class that we do. So you're getting all of this, collectively in this package. But if you've got it on your screen and you want to pull it up, you can kind of go through it. Brad's going to go through it.
I'm going to just brush through it. It really needs to be written. You need to read through because of all the different questions that are answered in all of this. We tried to address it from the point of, if I was asking Julius a question and could get an answer, what questions would I ask Julius? And these are some of the questions that we put in here and tied a workshop or an event that we've done into that will correlate with that. And so in this first module where it says, what is the meaning of life? How many of you have asked yourself this question in one way or another? And we go into great detail explaining to you, do you really know why you're here? And do you really understand what struggling is all about? And why is there struggling? And, if we're kind of the powerful people that we say we are, why do we struggle? And do you really wish that you had known this all along? Because once you understand even these three basic questions, there's no looking back on what you're doing, and you can't blame anybody else for what you're doing. It all comes down to you. And so then we go into creating a new and changing your identity and your destiny. And we find that a lot of people on the planet, they're unhappy with who they are. They don't know who they are. And so we started asking the questions, what if you could change your destiny? Well, that's possible. You can, because if you're source, you're that powerful being, and anything that you do, it comes from you, and you're the one who has that power to do it. Nobody else does. They can teach you everything in the world, but you are the one who has to accept that teaching. And that's because you're the powerful being that we say that you are.
The way that destiny works, the way that the theory of destiny works is you basically have a destiny when you're not changing anything. And humans don't change much in their life. They get locked into programs, they get locked into their education, they get locked into systems, and they don't change. And so it's very easy to see how something's going to turn out when nothing is changing. When you start changing everything in your life, you've thrown destiny out the window. Literally, you are no longer pre-programmed. You haven't pre-programmed yourself. through staying the same. As you shift and move and change and you become fluid, there is no destiny for you except that you're going to know yourself as source at some point. That is your ultimate destiny, but that leaves an infinite possibility for your experience, right?
And then once you start making those changes in your life and you decide, okay, I'm going to start making these changes because I've tried everything else and nothing really works. Well, we're going to throw some courage into what's going on and explain to you what exactly courage is. Courage is a long-term commitment. It's intention and it's follow through on what you intend to do with your life and get done. And that's what we've done in this Feeding Courage module. And then we back that up with how to activate your emotions.
Yeah. So Master, your
People
soul
don't-
is the
yeah.
emotional processor of thought. That's another discussion. You're going to have that discussion in here. And so your emotions are your soul, not your feelings. Your feelings come from your altered ego. That's a different discussion. But humans are not in alignment with their emotions. Your emotions have been shut down. They've been cut off. They've been detached. And there's a reason for that. Because if you are in alignment and you understand your emotions, they will guide you fluidly through every situation with no fear, no stress, no anxiety, and no limitations. So we're going to get you back to understanding your emotions and how to activate those.
Yep.
Right?
And then we're throwing in modules 5 and 6, this powerful crystalline energy program.
That's the film.
Yes, that is the film.
Yeah.
From one of our events that we've done here at our property. And this event alone, the price of that event more than covers the price of this package. And this is that event.
Mhm.
So it's certainly, I mean, how do we activate it? How do you a lot of practitioners talk about crystalline energy. Do they ever tell you how you activate it? Do they ever explain to you what it's all about and what you really need to activate it? And how do you use it in your daily life to get its maximum benefit? I'm sorry, words are coming through my brain faster than I can get them out of my mouth. So it's a fabulous package, 5, 6 modules. It's of course we've been out of this for a while, Monsef, but you know what? We've come back with a package and a program that we believe is going to help because everybody's asking for it.
These teachings, Julius, the energy behind Julius's teachings is that it grows with you. So as you repeat the program and go back and repeat, you're going to hear things differently. You're going to measure the progression equally to what you are doing. So we constantly get that from our students, is that once they have gotten into some of the teachings and they go back and they do the teaching again, they're like, we heard new information. It's relevant progressionally for your journey. Should you choose to use it that way.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much, Kasey and Brad, for putting together this package and also for decreasing the price. So very grateful to you for that. And as I mentioned in the beginning, I really love your message and your work, and I highly recommend that. And we've experienced some of that during this call. It was very inspiring, the messages that you brought. Really powerful, very empowering, and also the subjects that are in the package, they are related to the maybe a little bit of what you mentioned earlier, and they can help you go very deep into that process of embracing our sovereignty and really step up and show our light during this new wave of consciousness. Mm-hmm. And I feel it can be very, very helpful. So thank you again for both of you and Julius and everyone. I highly recommend that you sign up and for this package. And again, the link is yourdivineuniqueness.com/Julius, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Julius, JULLIUS. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page. And also the link will be on YouTube video description and on the chat boxes on Zoom. So yeah, so can we take more questions?
Yeah, let's talk to Destin.
Yeah, Destined.
Yeah, Destiny, can you unmute yourself?
Hi guys.
Yes,
Hi, Julius and Kasey and
Brad.
a girl.
Oh,
Brad and Kasey. There we go. Yeah. Oh wow. I'm doing a lot of work, a lot of really deep clearing, a lot of program clearing. But right now I'm like coming up against what feels like some serious resistance. And it actually feels like heat.
Mhm. Okay. And so what is your question, Master?
My question is, how can I best bring grace and ease to this situation instead of feeling like I'm fighting against it?
Great question, Master. You are correct. You are getting your programmed resistance. For the program that you have been programmed with has a program in it that is a defense mechanism, or what we want to call an attack mechanism, almost like an immune system. You actually have a program that runs in you that keeps you immune to keeps you defensive against high consciousness, okay? And that's what you have engaged. So you've engaged that portion of the program that runs in your subconscious. First thing we want to tell you is congratulations for reaching that level. Thank you for that. Through your determination or love, through your power and through your sovereignty, Master, that's a pretty high level of resistance. So love yourself for that. You are correct. It will feel discomforting in your body. So you do not want to fight this. You want to love this. Your altered ego hates being loved. It doesn't know what to do with it. It wants you to be afraid. It wants you to be defensive. It wants to ignite what we call cognitive dissonance within you. And you're not going to go there. We're not going to let you go there. So when you feel this warmth, what you're going to do, Master, is you're going to visualize this loving, warm fireplace in a log cabin that has this lovely embers burning, filling up the whole room and caring for everyone, making sure everyone is well, appreciating it, loving it. And it's going to come down from its wildfire application to you, and you're going to be able to govern the experience of it. We don't want you to douse this fire. We don't need to fight it. You just need to create with it. Then you take your visualizations into seeing your own self rising up upon a mountain top, gracefully accessing all of the quantum fields of energy of that which you are, and allow that gentle, warming feeling to igniting your kundalini energy throughout your body. Feel it rising gently and lovingly up your spinal column, hitting the rear cerebellum of your head, shooting across your midbrain into full enlightenment. And the way that you do this, Master, is you stay in joy, appreciation, and compassion during this experience. And it can't hold you anymore. It won't know what to do. The great thing is this: you are transcending it with you. So you are not judging it and pushing it away. You are saying, no, 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 no. You are misinterpreting your own self. Come with me into love. Come with me into extraordinary. And then you are on your way, Master. You are the creator. So just like we were saying before, you will no longer be reacting to this heat wave of destruction. You are going to hold it and create it into the nurturing, compassionate, healing, caring, empathetic, and expansive truth. The way you do this, Master, is to know that is real. You are source. You will no longer be governed by an energy frequency that keeps you from that truth. You will instead walk with intention into the knowing of yourself, we touch you with grace and extraordinary. We touch you with the ability of doing this. We wait for you to unleash this, Master, for you touch us back. And we have enough love and appreciation for you to assist you into knowing that full truth of oneself.
Oh, I really needed that today.
It is our honor to be here for you today.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Destiny. Much love. And thank you so much, Kasey and Brad. And we have a question from Linda. What would you consider to be the most important thing a person could do within themselves to radiate their light most brilliantly, to touch and awaken others to see their light? Thank you.
To practice the art of non-judgment of self, Master, non-judgment of self.
Love themselves.
It is what stops you from your expansiveness, is judging your own self. And this is tough because you've been programmed with judgment from many blind angles and you don't know completely where it is. But that is the truth. The difference between low consciousness and high consciousness is judgment. We would call it judgment of all thought. That gets into a very expansive teaching, which you can find on the website if that resonates with you. But that is the truth. It is the elimination of judgment of all thought. That's what you can do. That's what you will do. That's what you will have to do to get into a high level of consciousness. But the minute you know that secret, the more you can pursue that truth and that experience, and the more that you will exponentially grow your light. And then the byproducts will just occur. That is so wonderful. You cannot contain light. You cannot contain water or light. Isn't that awesome? So, Master, what you can do is open up the canals for it to come through, open up the doorways, open up the corridor for that light to shine through more efficiently and effectively and expansively. And you do that by letting go of judgment of all thought. Since you are all thought, it is judgment of self. We hope that answers your question for you.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much for your answer. And also thank you, Linda, for your question. And yeah, so Kasey and Brad, thank you so much. It's been really, really inspiring, empowering, wonderful call. So thank you so much for everything you shared with us, for the inspiration. And yeah, and also for the program that you are offering to our audience. So thank you again.
Thank you for letting us be here, right? We're so excited. We're like little kids. We're just like, oh, it's Christmas. We get to be on Monsef's show this morning. Thank you to your audience for tuning in. If you are new to us, thank you for tuning into us. It's quite a compliment because there's so many other things you can be doing, you know, with your time. We hope that you found Julius pleasing to your hearts and to your souls and to your mind. We wish everybody the most extraordinary life, nothing but joy and abundance and wellness and love in all areas. Find your way. If in any way we can assist you, we are honored, you know, with that opportunity. And so we just want to send out as much appreciation as we possibly can, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, thank you again. And yeah, it was such a joy to have you as always. So I'm happy that you could join us today. So thank you for that. And yeah, also everyone, thank you so much for joining us, co-creating with us this wonderful experience today. Thank you for those who asked their questions. And again, you can find the link for, or you can find the program, Preparing for the New Wave of Consciousness that Kasey and Brad are offering to us on the link yourdivineuniqueness.com/Julius. yourdivineuniqueness.com/Julius. JULIUS, or by clicking on the special offer button on the live event page and replay page, and the link also on YouTube video description. And yeah, so with that, everyone, I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you on the next call.